You know things, I know some too. Sit right down, the femsplain 'em to you. If there's a thing you wanna explain, these two feminists can entertain. Nerdy stuff, sexy stuff, so much to know. Tune in for the Femsplain Show.
Femsplain! There you are.
Good evening, Diana.
Good evening.
Good evening, listeners.
Oh, good evening. Good evening to especially subscribers.
No, to everyone.
To everyone, but a little extra to the Patreon subscribers.
What is so exciting about recording in the evening?
It's so exciting because we can have a special adult beverage.
We can.
When recording in the evening.
We cannot have them in the morning, but we can in the evening.
No, it's against the law to have them in the morning. But, one point that's better about the evening recordings is we're allowed to have an adult beverage, but this is also special because it is our first of our homework episodes that we are releasing early to our Patreon subscribers. So if you're hearing this and you're not a Patreon subscriber, you could have heard this
a month ago.
But if
Crazy
you're a
goof.
Patreon subscriber, you're hearing it now.
Congratulations. I guess you could be a Patreon subscriber who doesn't get around to listening to it.
Yeah, but that's your choice.
That is your choice.
That's your personal choice.
So, Diana, what adult beverage are you having?
I'm having a Paloma, which is what we are currently. So we went through several phases, I would say, of quarantine beverages.
Quarantinis.
Quarantinis, yeah. I think that in the beginning, when we thought that this was temporary, it was White Claws. We were like, haha, this is fun. Where's White Claws?
But let's not drink too many carbs.
Yeah. That's when we thought that this was going to end in maybe a couple months. And then the dark times, I think were whiskey. It was just glasses of whiskey on ice. And we went through a very brief martini phase, but it turns out that sodium will really get to you. Yeah, it can be a lot. But now it is a Paloma phase, which is good. It's a tequila with a little bit of grapefruit juice and some seltzer, which are a lot of things that I like in one glass.
That sounds refreshing and too bitter.
It's surprisingly not very bitter. Although for Marty, I also put jalapenos in them.
Wow, I'm so glad that's staying in.
Yeah, me too. But I have it without that, so it might even be a little bit stronger for him.
Interesting. I earlier today you were having a different quarantini though.
I was. That was so basically like a good little consumer. I do whatever the TikTokers tell me to do at any given point in time, and this was also something I learned like earlier in quarantine. I know that everybody went through the Delgona coffee phase. Everybody did what they were told and they made the whipped coffee.
Oh, I've seen that.
Did you make a whipped coffee?
No, but I've seen it. And that's about as cool as I get.
Yeah. So the whipped coffees were fine and all. I made them a couple times, like the actual whipped coffees without any alcohol in them. But then I found a recipe for a Delgona coffee martini, which is vodka, simple syrup, and Kahlua, and then you top it with Delgona coffee, which is whipped coffee. It's basically instant coffee, hot water, and sugar whipped together so much that it becomes like a whipped cream. And do
you do that by hand?
I do, which takes forever and makes me feel like I've gone to the gym.
Sure.
Which I have not.
None of us have.
So I just need that to be clear. But yeah.
I love espresso martinis. That's what I thought you
What's
were
the
having.
difference?
I mean, it's to my knowledge, it's like Kahlua vodka and like cold brew, basically.
Ooh, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
The
have anything
coffee-
whippy.
Yeah. The whipped coffee gives you so much caffeine that it's too much caffeine.
Oh.
And I keep making them every once in a while thinking that it will be less caffeinated
Right.
than it is, but it is always so much. I mean, Marty and I had so much punchy energy at each
I
other
bet.
for like an hour after that drink.
Caffeine plus alcohol is a punchy combo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it was very punchy. Which, by the way, punchy does not mean mad or aggressive. It just means,
No. It's like what we are right now.
yeah, exactly.
Nice. The burlesque troupe I mostly performed with was sober performing, which is very untraditional in burlesque.
Sure.
But it was, I don't know, it was really important as a part of our like hard push for consent messaging that we were performing and stripping able to give full consent. However, every other stage I've been on, that is definitely not the case, and performers can get sloppy. But
Sure,
there's nothing
yeah.
like a really drunk person who can't figure out a zipper. It can be
I will tell
embarrassing.
ya, I have met I've danced with maybe 3 sober strippers in my time.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's and so that's definitely not the norm either.
Yeah.
I imagine it's likely the same, but it does. There's a very sensitive window of sweet spot
Yes.
of like feeling loose and excited
Yeah.
about what you're doing
And that's where
unable to make costume changes.
yeah. And to me, the espresso martini is the perfect pre-show drink to like be able to stay up, because I'm not a night person, to be able to stay up, have the energy to perform in an excited, animated way, be a little bit like more loosey-goosey. So yeah, if you are doing burlesque, use that drink ticket that you got for an espresso martini. It is perfect.
That's awesome. I did not know about any fancy drinks at my time doing this, because I was, I was a poorer Diana for a simpler time. But mine was Cafe Patron, which is a cursed beverage.
I don't know what that
shouldn't
is.
exist. It is coffee flavored Patron.
Just straight?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's a liqueur version of tequila that is coffee flavored, and the face you're making is appropriate.
I mean, it sounds perfect though.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing, like, the guys don't want to buy you like a cocktail because they start to learn that we fake our cocktails.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, I'll take a fancy drink, and that's code for pour me some seltzer and grapefruit juice in a cup.
Yeah.
But Cafe Patron became my version of that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Aw.
gross. Don't drink it for fun.
I will one day. I will. So Diana, what are we doing?
We're apparently recording a podcast, but more importantly, we're reminiscing about our risque performance lives.
Oh my goodness. So long ago.
I
A
know.
whole COVID ago. For me.
Oh my God. Do you know, I haven't said this to anyone yet,
Oh.
but I think about it like maybe once a week now, is how mad I am that Cardi B, in all her infinite wisdom and grace, dropped the song
Oh yeah.
Wet Ass Pussy during a time where almost all strip clubs
Or
have been closed.
Yeah.
I can literally feel like the fights over the stage time to that song. Like I can feel them in my heart, like how intense like the energy would be over that song.
I think it'll be there.
I hope
Yeah.
so. Oh God.
But yes.
But yeah, what we're actually doing is we're recording a podcast.
Oh yeah, shoot. What we're doing is
Yeah.
recording a podcast called Femsplained. But it's not just any episode of Femsplained.
No, this is a homework episode of Femsplained.
It's true. It's our most gatekeepy episode.
Yes, because we are literally keeping it from you.
Oh, yes. That's not what I meant, but we are going to be keeping it from people for a month. But mostly it's that there's like requisite listening required, right? So this is our revisiting the previous 3 or 4 episodes to sort of touch base on the topics.
Yes, exactly. And so let's recap first what our topics are. So we had the lovely Olivia and Philomena on to discuss iHunt.
Yes.
So we have our iHunt homework. And then Avalon Femsplained Stardew Valley. We have that.
Yes.
What did I talk about?
You know what you talked about, you weirdo.
Yes, I did. I talked about Lonely Girl 15.
Yes.
Oh my God, I just got so excited. Okay, and then we both talked about our favorite Disney movies.
Yes.
So those are the episodes that we are revisiting now in our homework episode of Femsplained.
Indeed. So I like to go chronologically.
Okay, that's fine.
So let's start with iHunt.
Perfect. So iHunt, first episode of the year, by the way. I felt like that was really special. It was really great that Olivia and Philomena decided to come here and talk about their like incredible role-playing game with us.
Yeah. And several other incredible things that they are doing and have worked on.
Yeah, and also the fact that they are both super dorks like us that I don't know, it just made me feel good that
absolutely I felt like we connected well. And when I think about the way that the rule book is written, that does not seem surprising. Like I feel like it's just, and I say this in the episode, it's just chocked full of inside jokes that feel like they're for me personally.
100%.
Yeah.
But so we talked a lot during that episode about our one-shot game that we had for a charity event, and how it was remarkable. Like, so we were talking about how much we enjoyed it, how much we had fun doing this one-shot, how attached to our characters we got even after like one shot at it, and also like the character creation process, etc. Anyway, like kind of long story short is that we decided that we're going to make that not just a one shot.
I'm so excited. Pablo, who was the game runner for the one shot, reached out to me to gauge interest in more after he heard that episode.
Yeah.
And so, yay. We're going to do a mini run in the month of March.
Yeah. On Sundays, I think, right?
Yep. Sundays in March.
Yeah.
If all goes according to plan. We're all gonna revisit the world that he created for us, because it was very clear that there was so much that we weren't able to touch upon within a one shot, and I think that that's why it was kind of like unsatisfying. Not that the game was unsatisfying, but I think that's why it still felt like there was a lot of potential there. So yeah, I'm so excited.
And like it's funny too, because I remember that I brought this up during our podcast with Olivia and Philomena, which was that like, I always feel like, especially when you're playing a one shot in a game that you don't normally get to play, is that you're never getting like all the aspects of the game that have been in the book. You're only going to play like the bones of it. And so I think this gives us maybe a little bit more of time to like experience some of the things like those Polaroid moments that Philomena was talking about and stuff like that we get to play with. I think that's really cool. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
Me too. My, I guess, other takeaways from that episode is, one, I just want to say that after recording that, I think Philomena and I, in some way, became Twitter mutuals. I had been following just Olivia previously, I think. And Philomena has just been like very validating and encouraging at weirdly emo moments.
Seen that. Yeah.
And I just like really appreciate it. So like my homework is friendship.
Yeah, Philomena. I will say that too. She's a very encouraging person online, and like a very like it's just obvious that she's supportive of the people that she likes, and it's very nice. And I don't know, I hope she listens to this, and I hope she knows that it's noticed that you are a supportive person.
Yes. So I will say that what I wanted to do on this podcast is to surprise you by saying, thanks to Philomena's support, I have finished the one shot or the game thing that I've been writing, and it's going to publish, but then I didn't finish it. So.
Oh, fuck. Oh, my God.
That's why I've been so stressed about when this homework episode is, because I wanted to finish it so badly, and I didn't. But I'm outing myself on the podcast that I have something almost finished, so maybe that's like kind of gonna kick me in the ass.
Oh my God, my heart.
I know, that would have been so good.
Oh my God, but you are gonna finish it, and it is gonna be great. I can't wait. I've seen like the preliminary, and it's gonna be good.
Okay. I'm really, I'm really mad I didn't get it finished. It's fine.
Hey, you're going to. It doesn't matter.
I went down another weird rabbit hole this week.
Do you want to tell me what it is?
Oh, like making logos and stuff. Like I got super.
Oh yeah, which is another. Oh God, we can talk about that later. But like you're awesome at it, and I think that's something that you should plug later.
Okay.
All right. What's next? Let's go to Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
That's me. That's my homework.
Yeah.
So my homework was to play Stardew Valley, and so two things happened. If you remember from the podcast, as we were listening to it, I got so excited, and I had remembered that I had downloaded the game already to my Steam account like years ago, and played 1 hour of it, exactly 56 minutes. And was like, fuck it, I can't figure out how to get a fishing pole. I quit. And I think that it was interesting because when I opened up this game again, I guess just like I've played more games since then. I had basically when I downloaded this game, I had played maybe 4 games in my life, and video games. And when I reopened it back up, it was like kind of like I didn't understand why I had gotten stuck on that. It was, like it seemed like a better experience already. I wound up getting it on Switch so that I could play with Avalon though. And so I opened up a co-op farm, and I played in this co-op farm for God knows how many nights, like, maybe almost a full month. Actually,
it was a full month. Yeah.
It was a full season, right?
Yeah.
So I played for a full season, and I'm struggling like to make any money. I'm like really trying so hard to make money, but I'm still liking it. I'm still enjoying it, having a great time. I like the girl at the bar who drinks beer and is obsessed with beer. I like her a lot. And I like going dungeon crawling. That's like maybe my favorite. Anyway, the time I finally get Avalon to come is because I hit a crisis. I thought, because the sign says that when you buy seeds from the grocery store,
mm-hmm.
it says plant before season is over. It does not say harvest before season is over. It says plant before. So it's like, okay, great. It's still fall or whatever it is. Spring. So I went and planted. I was like, fuck it. I'm not making any money. I'm making like change. So I went and I planted all of my money in fruits and vegetables, every last penny.
Mm-hmm.
And the next morning, I woke up and it was all ash.
Yeah.
And I panicked. I was like, I'm a month into this game, a season into this game, and I have nothing. So I called in Avalon for an emergency. And let me tell you, she showed up. and it was like having like one of those like HGTV contractors come into your home, like to like no, this is wrong, and like you need to get one of these, but like she like had me get a silo, she helped me get chickens, she like just went to work. I'm serious, like it was an incredible thing. You turned my farm around in like 2 hours. And then you just went to bed. You were like, all right, this is good. Goodbye. Get a silo. Like left.
Yeah, I will say on my end, what I walked into really stressed me out, and I was really trying not to be a jerk about it. And I held back. I really held back a lot of my advice because I was like, I don't want to make it not fun. You know, like you're playing it your way. You're figuring it out on your own. But when you showed up to the fucking festival where you're supposed to put the best thing you've got in the soup, and you had a berry that you had picked up off the ground as what you put in that soup, it wasn't even a gold star berry.
What does that mean? What's a gold star berry?
Well, I'm sure you notice that sometimes you pick things and they have a gold star on them in your inventory.
Yeah.
Well, it just means
But
they're a
it
really
just-
good version of that.
Oh. That wasn't clear to me.
Oh my God. And then, so I played the whole summer with you over the course of 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And at all times you had like $3,000 and like 2 crops growing. And I could not figure out why you were not buying more seeds to make more money. There's no point in holding on to money in this game. There's nothing to buy.
Well, okay. So I was thinking at that point, like because you told me I needed to upgrade my weapons.
Oh, true.
So I went to the weapon guy and he was like, that's going to be $5,000
okay.
or whatever. And I was like, oh God. Okay. Well, I gotta do this. Like, and I got very stressed about how like little the turnaround was like, you know, and But when I restarted the game on PC for the stream, it's, I guess, one, so like you kind of, like several things happened. Like one, I realized that basically making money in the beginning is like all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like cut everything down, plant as much as you can, and then sell as much as you can. And that's pretty much it. And then 2, like, I guess, like, doing more of the mining stuff for more money has been really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing that from the beginning instead of, like, waiting a little later. And also you taught me about the stuff on the beach, the little wiggly worms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like, with all of that, starting from that, it got a little bit more manageable from the beginning. And basically, like, but with my current game, by the end of spring, I was where the farm was at the end of summer in
Good.
our current one, like with chickens and a silo and like all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it made it a little bit more fun, a little bit more manageable. I am now, I guess, I don't know if just like the algorithm on things knows inherently what I'm up to. But I'm seeing a lot more memes about Stardew Valley.
No.
And I saw a TikTok the other day that was pretty good. It was like about when it's like what time do you pass out?
Oh, I think 2.
2 a.m. Yeah. And it was like when it's 1:50 and you have to make it from the mines to your bed, and like it was just like a speed running character. And I really related to that because I don't know why, but I always come out of the mine at like 1:50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's very stressful.
Yeah, I've gotten robbed several times.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Wait, but who is robbing people in Stardew Valley? There's like 11 people
I think
who
it's
live
the
there.
doctor. The doctor
think-
who finds you and is like, oh, when I found you, your wallet was missing.
Well, he robs you in the form of, oh, I had to take you in and like I had to charge you $150 for your medical visit.
But you don't think he's doing
But then
both?
it's like, I don't know, maybe he is, but like the fact that there's like, maybe it is, maybe it's just his grift.
That's what I think. So the real question on everyone's minds, I almost said lips, minds and lips. Who do you want to bang?
Look, I'm not going to be. First of all, I have to say that nobody wants to bang me, which is a very.
Oh, you went through the whole dance thing.
Yeah. Well, I went through that. And also, nobody seems to like anything that I give them. And I know that what I'm giving them is just ears of corn and wildflowers and stuff. But still, I would like it if people were a little bit nicer to me.
I told you to give them eggs.
I did. I gave them eggs. Do you want to know what happened when I gave them eggs? Because I did that on stream. That's recorded. Nobody liked the eggs.
That's
Evelyn.
not true. Everybody
was
loves my
mad.
eggs.
No, they were like, okay, fine, I'll take it.
Well, then you should give them mayonnaise.
All right, I haven't learned how to make complicated things yet, but also, I expect to be judged by this. I know there are a lot of cute people here in this game,
Oh no.
but like, I like the woman who likes beer.
The alcoholic?
I didn't know that she's supposed to be an alcoholic. She just says she likes beer.
Yeah, I think that one of the potential love interests is her abused daughter.
What?
Like emotionally, yeah. The school teacher,
Oh my God.
Penny,
Yeah.
she's never in the bar because her mom's an alcoholic.
It's very possible that I haven't met Penny yet.
She's got like coppery red hair and a ponytail and like a yellowy kind of shirt.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah, I like her,
Okay, I
too.
like her, yeah. I also like the carpenter.
Carpenter?
But she's married.
Oh, Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can be interested in one of her kids.
Well, that sounds terrible. I don't.
Well, no,
wanna
so
do
I'll
that.
agree with you. I didn't realize that her two kids were potential love interests because to me they read as like preteens and Robin reads as like a marriageable adult.
Yeah.
But her daughter is the one who likes to look through a telescope. She's like kind of the nerdy one.
Oh, yeah. I definitely am reading everyone's ages wrong.
I also have trouble with that.
Because I also thought that the school, I guess she's a school teacher. She can't be, but I did not realize that she was the daughter of that person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading everybody wrong. I mean, again, it's like a 1 pixel avatar and stuff, but still, I'm clearly not paying him enough attention.
All right, well, who do you
But
dislike?
I don't know, that guy. You know, that guy is an asshole. What's his name? Pierre?
Wait, the guy who owns the shop?
No, I'm wrong.
You-
Not Pierre.
I think it's like
No,
Sean
Pierre's
or Shane.
Shane.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that guy.
I mentioned that in our episode that you shouldn't sleep on
Yeah.
Shane.
But he's such a dick.
I know. I think he likes eggs though.
You say that. You keep saying that. keep giving people eggs
Yeah, maybe not.
like an idiot. They keep yelling at me that they don't like eggs.
So, do you think you'll continue to play?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to play tomorrow on stream.
Oh, well, la-di-da.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it.
Well, make sure you give Shane an
will-
egg from me.
I will. I will. Ugh. I will. I will give Shane an egg from you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So yeah, the point being that I really am surprised at how quickly I dismissed the game. It's still, I would say, it's still hard for me to get to stay invested. I need to take breaks, I think, from it, because without a like congruent, like overarching story
Yeah.
to keep me hooked, I do need to take breaks from maintenance games, like with Spiritfarer, because it's smaller. There's a finite amount of things you can do, and the story keeps driving the gameplay. Is easier for me to stay hooked, but I think with like Minecraft,
Yeah.
with Stardew Valley, also
Animal Crossing. No.
yes, Animal Crossing, but that's not what I was thinking of. Terraria.
Oh, I don't know.
Jesus
I don't even know what the
Christ.
fuck that is.
So Terraria is Minecraft, but a side scroller. And I had never played Minecraft before when this game came out, so I got really hooked on it. But I always need to take breaks from games like that when there's no like story that's like continuously drawing me in. That's just my
What I will say about Stardew and what helps me kind of stick with it is once your farm is somewhat self-sustaining and money is no longer an issue, like year 2, you have a lot more free time to then start like exploring everybody in town's backstories.
That is very good information.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially like once people start liking you and I don't know. Yeah. It doesn't become, I would not say it becomes a plot, but it becomes appealing in a new way.
That's enough for me. Uncovering people's like stories is absolutely a valid way to draw me in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
So,
Oh.
yeah. So I like it.
So I feel like in the Stardew episode, I really played up like, oh my gosh, FMK is going to be so big once you actually know who the characters are. But I don't actually remember anybody's names.
I don't remember anybody's names, but I will say this also, and that is that I feel like I have not really broken down anybody's barriers that much.
Yeah. It's hard in the beginning.
Like that I still haven't really gotten that far. But what I will say is that I kind of like the guy at the library.
What is wrong with you? He's not even a real character.
I don't understand why that's real. I got mad at the game when it told me that after I met him, I checked that progress on the like you got to know people, and it did not go up. And I was mad.
Yeah. He's never at the parties. He's not a real character. I don't know why.
Oh, I like him.
The blacksmith is
I'm not saying
at the party.
Yeah, the blacksmith I also like.
I
think
could
he's
see
great.
you liking the blacksmith.
Yeah, I like him too. I like Robin the carpenter, and I like I think Mary Robin. I know Mary Robin.
Yeah,
is
that's definitely the right
for
move.
sure.
Even though you can't, but still.
I know I can't, and that makes me mad. I think fuck who is the bartender who's a manic pixie dream girl with
The blue hair. Yeah, I don't know her name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, she's not nice to me, but
Oh.
still, I think that
Fair.
in this hypothetical fantasy should be the fork.
Got it.
And then kill. I know you keep saying don't sleep on him, but he's a jerk.
He is a jerk. I don't think you should F or M him, but I do think that he is worth the backstory exploration.
All right. Well, at this moment in time, he's getting a knife.
Okay. Damn.
So that's Stardew Valley. I cannot wait a second longer. I need to know what you did for your homework for Lonely Girl 15. Please tell me.
Diana, I don't even know what to say. I watched a full 60 minutes of. Listen, you did not tell me there are hundreds of episodes. Hundreds.
Yeah.
It's like, there's, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why were you watching these? There's, chapter 1 is 204 episodes in the YouTube playlist. And there's like 4 chapters.
You found a playlist?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And I watched
That's
it.
really...
And by the end of an hour, they were just starting to introduce that this girl was sick.
Yes.
Which means, like, genuinely, why was anyone watching it?
So that's the whole point, is that all right. So all of YouTube, all of YouTube at this point was just that. It was just video diaries. It was just basically your Tumblr account, but on YouTube. Your live journal, but on YouTube. You just talking about your life, like, and being a little silly, maybe a little editing, maybe like a little fun thing here and there, but crappy. If you notice, like, they're all also in the like YouTube like standard ratio.
Oh, I didn't notice.
They're all in that square YouTube ratio. Like, they don't have the current aspects, which I think is
It's
funny.
so
but we also
boring.
rewatched it. Yeah, it is.
But it looks like it won't be eventually, but damn. There's never been like a longer bad season 1 to get through.
But that's the whole point. The whole point of it is that you aren't watching a show. You're just fans of this girl and her vlog, her like private vlog where she just talks about her life.
I think that, and it's impossible for me to say this without bias because I knew what it was going into it, but I think it seems like she's acting. I think she seems fake. Not like this fake teen, but like to me it seems like she's acting badly.
So I rewatched it too. We didn't rewatch the entire first portion. I did because Marty was there. I did like a skip around where I kind of like
that probably would have been better for me.
But well, I knew where to skip around to.
Right.
Like, that's like, but like, I feel like I don't feel like she did necessarily bad at like at the acting of it. In fact, I feel like the cringiness of it was was what made it natural. Like, she kind of made it like people were very heartbroken. There were people who got hooked on the show because they found out it was fake. But there were also people who were heartbroken because they thought that they had made a friend online and then found out that it was fake for a show and felt actually like betrayed and like lied to because of it.
Yeah.
And that's the part of this that I think is like, why this is definitely like a moment in time and not a thing that should be a model for anything. It's like kind of an excellent experiment in time, but like should not be repeated. You know, and when we were watching it, I felt like she seemed like super awkward, like a teenage girl would be. But I feel like she does not look like a teenage girl now that I am looking at it.
I would agree.
So like I feel like she does give me that teenage girl being awkward vibe, but it doesn't match now in my grown-up eyes what I'm looking at, where I'm like, that's a grown woman.
Yeah.
Like,
I won't say the same for Daniel, though. I bought Daniel as a teen big time.
Yeah.
Including like him being like a little problematic in his in the episodes where like he has the camera and he's like saying how obnoxious she is. He's kind of an asshole and looks like a real teenager.
Yeah, he's kind of like I completely
I think
totally
Daniel
agree.
stole the show for me.
Yeah.
I totally bought Daniel. I didn't like him at all, but I 100% bought him as a teen.
Yeah, I did too. You didn't wind up seeing any of the episodes of the other characters, did you?
No. I really wanted to get there.
You kind of can skip around if you would like to.
Yeah.
I would actually recommend getting to like see one episode with Jonas to see when they hired the handsome man to be like a step in. I just think it's an interesting shift in like that marks that they've definitely tried to make this into like a show.
Interesting, yeah. Yeah, she's a little too polished, I think, a little too good looking.
She's very she's very good looking. She does feel very awkward to me. I think that she does act very well as like an awkward teen. I actually like their Proving Science Wrong series. I thought that was cute. It's very like it's very significant to the era of YouTube where like you would have those little like recurring things on your blog. So I liked that.
Yeah, that was, I think that definitely felt very scripted to me, those parts. Because it like lent itself to me not buying her as so perfect, so smart, so authentically nerdy. And to me, her awkwardness wasn't like an actual teenager being awkward. It was like a perfectly pretty traditional popular person going home and being like, but I'm so awkward when I whisper. Like, I was just like, no, you're not. You're not awkward.
So I rewatched recently, and I brushed past it when it first came out, but I rewatched. I told you that in 2016 they had done like a video that was like hinting that they might bring the show back. And she like made something on the account that was like hinting that it might come back, and nothing after that. When I was looking for that, I found a interview with her, the actress, where she talked about it, and she did not seem like she was happy with it at all. She when she was talking about it in this interview, she was kind of like, and I'll send this to you afterwards. She was kind of like totally like offended on behalf of the fans that like found out that she wasn't real and that like they felt betrayed. That she thought that this was going to be like a real acting gig, and like that it turned out to be this project, and she didn't like didn't love how it turned out, and that she didn't blame anybody for being upset. Like, she kind of said that in simple terms, that it was,
Yeah.
and that she was happy that her character died so that she could do other things. And I kind of understood that.
Yeah.
I thought that it was, I thought that made me feel a little bit of a kinship with her.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It leads you to wonder what it was like working for the guy who created it. I could see that being a lot, especially if it wasn't laid out fairly transparently in the beginning.
Yeah, it it makes me very suspicious of that. Especially because, if you're lying to the audience, and now, maybe you're not upfront with the people you're auditioning to be on the job.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just lying all over the place.
Right. Fascinating.
Yeah. So that actually kind of my homework on this was deep diving back into it and finding out stuff I didn't know. So
Well, I do like that
was pretty
lens.
cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I really tried. I pride myself in surprise completionism, and it is not feasible.
No, you will not be able to finish it. I would love
That makes me mad.
I would love to send you. Can I send you a couple of key episodes?
Yeah, if you want to curate which episodes, I'll watch quite a bit of it. I just can't watch all of it because
it's
of the
too much.
sheer volume.
It's way too much, and so much of it is predicated on the fact that they need to make people feel attached to her.
Yeah.
In a vlog way. So many of them have to just be her talking to a camera, being like, "My day was this." So many of them are just that.
I will say that the vibe I got is more so that she was into Daniel, not that Daniel was friend zoned.
Interesting. I still, yeah.
Because she's always pick. Daniel, pay attention to me. The first hour is just her trying to get Daniel to pay attention to her.
That's true. That's true. All right. Are we gonna talk about Disney?
I guess so. I didn't, when we have a mutual episode, there's not usually a lot of homework.
I know, but all right, so I did my homework for the mutual episode.
Oh, wait, can I pause and go back and say something about Stardew Valley? I forgot.
Yes.
Francis reminded me when he was listening to it, he and I started playing because you told us about it.
Wait, really?
Yeah. We had never heard of it, and you told us about it.
Isn't
that
so
weird?
Weird.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have said that earlier, but it's so weird.
That is really, truly
Yeah.
weird. I told you about it, and then I played it and didn't like it.
And then I forgot
Okay.
that's where it came from.
Wow. I'm so glad our lives are this incestuous.
Yes.
I really love it. Okay.
All right, Disney.
So Disney. All right. So look, I didn't do much for this. But what I did do, so for listeners, just to refresh, Avalon first chose Beauty and the Beast and was very wrong, and then switched to Little Mermaid and was more right. But I chose Lion King, and I still think I edge out just by a hair, but I do think that it's a much tighter contest between those two movies.
Oh, I just remembered why we're talking about this.
I don't know why we're talking about this. I'm talking about this because at the end of that episode, Avalon had brought up that the Lion King live action was a thing, and I had not seen it. I had avoided it because I had seen several other of the live action movies that Disney has done. And we all know that they're only doing this so that they can extend their copyrights, so that they do not have any competition in telling the stories that were already written by other people in the first place. But I did decide to watch the live. I keep calling it live action. We keep calling it that, but it is not. The new animation that is meant to look like live action of The Lion King. I feel like the voice acting in it, with the exception of that on the street guy, who I wish I can't. It was awful. It was genuinely awful. But everybody else was wonderful. I think there was so much work done on the voice acting end of the spectrum. And I think that the animation was clearly beautiful. But something about mixing those two together felt not correct to me. Everything, I think the animation was gorgeous. It looked like I was watching a wildlife documentary. And then the voice acting was, if I closed my eyes, him hysterical and at times very meaningful. But I feel like they did not mesh. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like when I watched it, it felt like I was in, and I think that, and I said this to Marty, I think that like this made me feel like the uncanny valley extends into animals. Mm-hmm. It made me feel like they were in the uncanny valley, like they looked like almost like real tigers.
Lions.
But because
Lion King.
Lions, sorry. Sorry. But because they looked so real, mm-hmm. they could not be as expressive in their faces.
Yeah.
And so they were telling jokes, but with no eyebrows raising, no like smiles in their faces.
Yeah.
And so it made me very aware that they looked like real lions.
Yeah.
At the time. Like that's just like my unintelligible non-animator way of expressing what felt off about it, because everybody's individual performances felt awesome. Mm-hmm. Like, I thought that the singing was great. I thought that like so much of the acting was great. Like, but something kept making me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think it was that. I think it was like that weird uncanny valley feeling that I was getting.
I think for me that undermined not only the comedy, but also some of the dramatic scenes. So like the death of Mufasa, first of all, they cut away more so than in the cartoon. So he says like, Dad, whatever, but there's not like the constant like, Dad, like, which is hard about the cartoon. So it to me felt a lot more palatable in the quote unquote live action because it was shorter. But also I think that the expressiveness made it a little bit less like heart wrenching, like the cartoon had been.
Exactly. Yeah, there was not as much of that there. I also think, so one thing we were talking about is that we were very excited that Beyonce was adult Nala, but I felt like if you have Beyonce as adult Nala, you give her more singing.
Oh.
Like... and
because they did. They like gave her a whole song that wasn't there before.
They did, and I totally appreciate that. But what we laughed about while we were watching it was that Donald Glover, who is we both love, we were like, oh, I'm so glad he gets to sing in this a little bit. And then we heard him doing this duet with Beyonce, and we're like, ooh. Is he Beyonce good? Is he gonna match?
I'm sure he was also thinking that.
Like, we're like, oh God, we felt like a secondhand stress, mm-hmm. like for him.
That's how I felt about Wonder Woman.
Yes,
Kristen Wiig Getting as hot as
like,
Gal Gadot.
being as hot as we're like, all right, Kristen, you're slowly gonna become hotter, and you're gonna be as hot as you're gonna be as hot as Gal Gadot. I'm gonna what? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Do you have magicians? Are you going to? Yeah. So we were listening to it, and we were like, oh God. I think he did a great job. My end result is that I think he did great. But I was as we were listening to it, I was like, oh my God, is he gonna?
Yeah. What's gonna happen here?
I will say that the stampede scene, perfect. I think pretty much it's a platter, that scene. They kept pretty much. Yeah, I think that scene was great.
It bothers me that they pulled the punch
on the death.
On the death.
Yes, I think I'm not talking about the death.
Okay.
I'm talking about
the actual stampeding
scene, the actual stampede scene. So that's the one that from my childhood is like the scene that I all right. So we talked a lot about the music in this movie. One, we talked about how mad we were that the musicians are not credited at the end of it.
Huh.
It's basically just the orchestra and like a couple of leads, and they don't credit anybody else.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, but also, but a lot of the music is so important in this movie in a way that I didn't realize before, because I just paying more attention to it, that this movie like is one of the only Disney movies I can think of where, aside from musical songs where the characters are singing, the soundtrack is very orchestral and very integral to the emotions of what's going on in the scene. And I vividly remember that Stampede song being something that like impacted me with no lyrics whatsoever, and that's like just something that stood out to me.
I feel that way in Lion King about the scene where adult Simba looks like sees his dad in the sky. Like I can fully hear the score of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What you mentioned with Be Prepared could not have been understated. The fact that they made it not a song, and the fact that it, first of all, the person singing it, I can't imagine that he's not capable of that. I don't. I mean, maybe that's the case, but I don't. He's great, and it was just a sad.
I think it was a weird choice.
It was weird. Maybe because they wanted to make it more realistic.
Maybe.
Seeming. And yes, an army of marching hyenas would probably look silly.
But they could cut away during that part to like anything else.
But it just became like a talk.
Yeah. And then it was
moment.
over
it was
fast.
So short.
Yeah. It was so short.
No, it was so short. Yeah, I was very upset about that. Yeah. I thought that was too much, too little, I guess is the truth. And I also thought, I think that the chemistry between also the hyenas was bad. Which
I genuinely don't remember them.
So in the original Disney film, like the hyenas were fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
They were so snappy and they were so together.
It's because it was Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, it was, but the three of them had like a a whole thing, a whole little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I will say that I did like there's one thing that I did take away that was positive, and that I think they did better. And that is an early scene. I think they really did a phenomenal job of driving home this one very Shakespearean backstory moment between Scar and Mufasa in the very beginning of the movie. So there's this scene where Scar and Mufasa are talking after Simba's birth, and Mufasa is confronting him that he wasn't there. And in this, it seems like they're just having a bro off where they're just kind of like sassing each other. And they never say any details, but you perfectly understand that in the past, Scar wanted to be with Sarabi, which is Simba's mom. Mm-hmm. And that him and Mufasa had a physical fight over it that caused his scar, and that made him an outcast. And you perfectly digest this information without them ever saying a single detail of it. And I know that scene does exist in the cartoon, but this movie, I do feel, made that feel a little more Shakespearean, a little more like Punchy. Yeah. It felt like it was a little more dark. And I think that the very real dark parts of it kind of came through a little bit more because, again, it being drawn the way that it was lent towards that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I think it did lack a little bit on the funnier, lighthearted musical side of it. Did not come through as well.
You know who I think was not very good in their role, even though they should have been, was John Oliver.
Oh, I loved him. No, I can't agree.
I just felt like it was John Oliver. I didn't feel like it was Zazu.
I loved that. Oh. I actually thought that was great. I thought it was John. He did a lot of improvising, which I thought was great because I thought, I had it felt weird that everything was like exactly the same, but just felt wrong.
Yeah.
Like
that's how I felt with him in particular.
But I liked that he improvised a lot of lines, or at least maybe not improvised, but a lot of them were different. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of stuff was noticeably new.
All right. Well, I'm glad you liked the live action Lion King.
I did not. I liked Zazu, and I liked that scene between Mufasa and Scar in the beginning, and I liked that Nala finally got a song.
Even though it was just like a montage of vocalizing.
I didn't care. At least she got some vocals. Like Nala deserved that. That's pretty much it. But then the rest of it made me very upset.
All right.
What do you think?
Well, I don't think it was good.
No. Overall, I don't think so.
But either. I also think that a lot of the things that you appreciated about it, I did not.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you did.
It's all right. I have to find something that I like,
You don't. You don't have to. Well, I am genuinely happy that you did. But I did not.
Good. Well, good. Did you do any Disney-related homework? I don't think you had.
I didn't have any. I just had to live with the shame of having failed at what apparently should have been an easy and decisive victory.
Yeah.
Because you got in my head.
I did. I got in your head. Well, also that you got to change your answer mid-episode.
No one has called me out on, and I totally deserve.
No one has called you out on that.
Yeah, I really deserve that. People are being too nice to me. Even if I had one, I cheated.
Amazing. That's so funny. Everybody is like, wow, Avalon should have won that.
No one has said a word anyway. About the first 20 minutes of the episode.
No, Avalon changed her mind. We buy it.
It's very generous. Everyone has been very generous.
It's amazing. Oh my God. Well, oh my God. I think this is probably the most effort we've ever put into homework.
No.
No?
No.
Oh, no. You once went to a gaming store.
I went to
more.
3 gaming stores.
Yeah, that's more. But still, it does feel like we both did a lot of homework.
We did a lot. We took it seriously.
Yeah, I do feel like
Yeah.
that. All right, so my one thing I'm gonna send to you, and you don't actually have to do it, is I'm gonna send you a recommended list of like the plot episodes of Lonely Girl 15.
I'll do it.
You don't have to watch
I
them,
will.
but I will give them to you.
All right, well, I will. So.
All right, great. What are you doing after this?
I have to pee so bad.
And then after that,
I haven't thought that far. I guess I'm going to eat my dinner from an hour and a half ago.
Good. I'm gonna be here.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
I like this. There's not a good answer when it's not.
When it's nighttime, yeah. I mean, I'll go to sleep probably.
Yeah. All right. Well,
good job.
Thank you. A special thank you to our patrons because you have helped us and are helping us keep the lights on. So I'm glad that we get to share this episode with you early and all of the little things that we're doing. I just really appreciate you. And if you are listening to the podcast later and you want to come and hang with us on Discord, that would be cool. Avalon, where else can we find your stuff?
Me? My stuff?
Yeah, you personally, your stuff.
Twitter and Twitch, _cat attack.
Yes. Avalon and Francis do Divorce Night on when is that?
Oh, it's not, we're not sure yet. It's either going to be Thursdays or Fridays, probably every other.
So sometimes they stream like couch co-ops that are really fun because they like get punchy at each other.
Punchy at each other.
So I would recommend going and following _cat attack on Twitch for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, Avalon has a book club that's going on in a Discord channel. If you follow her on Twitter at _cat attack, you can find the link to her Discord, which will get you in. And they're about to start a new book. So if you're interested in that, you should get in on it.
Thank you for doing my promos. It felt really sweet to have someone else do it.
Good. I just genuinely really want everybody to do your book club because it sounds like a good idea.
Thank you.
Me. I'm on Super Dylan all the time.
You've got a million big
everywhere.
things happening.
I have a million big things happening. It's too much. Anyway, if you don't tune into City of Mists, I will personally fist fight you.
Yes.
It's going to be so good. I'm so excited. It's going to be in March, though. We also have a fundraiser coming up in February on February 13th. February 13th.
This is a big deal because this is actually something Femsplained is doing.
It is. It's a Femsplained event. It's Femsplained versus 3 other couples. Platonic creator couples.
Yes, and we have to
see
win.
Who knows each other?
Oh.
We do.
Also, because it's for Trevor Project. It's for a good cause. But if you come and you donate an amount of money that I don't remember, you can buy us like little cheat hints.
An advantage.
Yeah, an advantage over the other teams. So
don't give them to anybody else.
No.
Only give them to us.
So you have to be there to help us cheat.
Yeah. Please. We need you.
Yes. And then if you're listening to this on regular podcast, it happened already.
So please help us. And also just show up. Showing up helps the fundraiser.
Yes.
Because it helps us get more views and helps people come and show up. And also it's going to be fun.
I think it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
Because I think if we start doing badly, which I actually think we're going to do really badly, I think we're going to get mad at each other and it's going to be funny.
Yeah. I will. If you don't guess the things that I guess, I'm going to
I'm going to be so mad.
I think All right, so please show up for that. I think it's gonna be great. Also, City of Mist is coming up. Super Dylan, follow me, and you'll see the stuff that I do.
Yeah,
That's it.
Just do it.
Just do it. And that's it.
Okay.
Please have a good night, Avalon. Go to bed or eat your dinner or both.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Good. Great.
Aww.
Thank you for listening to Femsplained.
Goodbye.
Bye.